three blocks of three exercises again, A, B, and C. So for block A, we're going to start with some hip abduction. So just 2 rounds for block A. It takes slightly longer to get through this sequence. So at this one, what I'm doing is the abduction to abduct, take away. So I'm bringing the hip away from my midline, or my thigh away from my midline, I should say. So what I'm trying to do here is making sure that the leg that I'm raising doesn't go in front of the bottom leg. So even have my knee behind my bottom knee almost. So I want to lift my hip up without kind of manipulating or contorting my upper body or moving around. I want to keep it fairly static in the upper body. That might limit how high my leg can go. That's fine. Going to extend the leg, squeeze through the glute and lower down. So we're going to go for 10 each side with this one. So take your time with this, don't rush through it, and really try and get the glute muscle firing and contracted for each rep. After the hip abduction, we're going to go into some Cossack squats. So we can go body weight, we can use a bench or a chair or a table or a counter or something for balance if you want to. Or we can use a weight to act as a counterbalance. And again, we're just going to go for 8 on each side on this one. So the leg that I'm bending when I'm putting my weight into, I want to make sure that heel stays on the floor as well. I'm not coming up onto my toes. Again, I might limit the range slightly on this one, but it's alright. I'd rather see that than you kind of all up on your toes on the bent leg side, or the side of the bent leg. So again, the side where I'm extending and straightening the leg, I want to bring my toes off the floor and point my toes to the sky or the ceiling, heel on the ground. So 8 each side on this one. Then the third piece is just going to our bear crawl position, tight core, knees just floating off the floor, shoulder touches 5 each side. So we're going to just do 2 rounds of this block. Block B, we're going to do a twisting stepping lunge. We can either do a reverse lunge here if your knees are a bit tender, or forward lunge. So I'm trying to rotate on the way down, rotate back on the way back up. So I'm landing on the front heel. On the way back up, I'm trying to kick off through the front heel. Again, any pressure or anything with the knees going on, make sure you land on that heel. And as we kind of lower ourselves to that bottom position, our front shin is vertical. We're not pushing through forward to our knees too much. Again, this isn't inherently bad or wrong, but just for the purpose or the context of home workouts, what we're doing right now, let's just try and shoot for a vertical shin on the front leg. Lunges are done. We're going to go into a good morning. Again, if the weight's heavy or if this is uncomfortable, just do a standard a good morning or a Zerker good morning. You can hold the weight at your chest. Otherwise, we're going to have the weight across our shoulders. Again, really trying to hinge to the hips. And like I was saying on the lunge, I want to keep my shins vertical the whole time, but I'm not bending my knees forward. I'm pushing my bum back. And as I'm coming up, I'm not just throwing my head back. I'm actually trying to push my hips forward so that in the top position, knees, hips, ankles all in a straight line. I'm not overextending and shooting my hips too far forward here. So 10 reps, squeeze at the top. Again, toes pointing forward, trying to grab the floor with toes. So 10 repetitions on this one. The third movement, or the third exercise for block B, is the side plank. We're going to go for 30 seconds each side here. And there's our 3 movements then, and we're going to repeat these 3 times. Twisting, stepping lunge, or stepping, twisting lunge, good morning, and side plank. 3 rounds. So block C, we're going to do a single leg deadlift with the 1 arm row. Again, hand support here so I can keep my hips steady and level. I'm not twisting and turning to the side. Steady tempo with the row, not too fast or too slow here, so steady pace up and down. And again, the row is more used just to test our stability here and keeping the glutes active. So 10 each side on this one. When it's done, we're going to come into a tall kneeling curl position. So again, I don't want to have my hips bent, I want to have my hips straight. I'm really trying to squeeze my glutes and using the glutes to anchor myself and steady myself here. So it should be a small element of instability here, otherwise I'm probably leaning back too much. So tall position. And again, we could probably go heavier with the curls, but I'm using the arm movement again just to force my glutes and my core to stabilize. So 12 repetitions here. And we're going to do some more lateral work again. We're going to do the Russian twist this time. So with the Russian twist, feet off the floor, feet together. I'm not particularly concerned about crossing the ankles here. And I'm going to go 10 each side. I'm trying to turn my torso or rotate my trunk as well. But it's not a case of just my arms moving. I'm trying to rotate my torso. And again, keep my lower back slightly extended. I'm not rounding or slouching too much. 10 each side, and that's the 3 movements or exercises for block C. We're going to repeat that 3 times.